the agenda for non-agenda items. I'm going to read through the people that signed up. Please refer to the regulations regarding discussion and comments that's posted next to the sign machine. You're going to have 5 minutes. It's on the timer. First, I have Councilwoman Rayford. We can do agenda items after or at the end. We can do agenda. Okay.
Good evening. I'm Councilwoman Hillary Rayford in the city of Newburgh at large. That's covering all districts and all 4 wards, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I am here tonight to say how proud I am of the Newburgh Large City School District. Both of the board, the city workers here, the staff. I'm also proud of the students in regards to school safety. I have been here for 50 years and came through the Newburgh Large City School District. Graduated from Orange County Community College and Mount St. Mary's College, as well as seeking other professional avenues. I watched on TV the horrific shooting that happened in Florida, and my heart was compelled to come here tonight to tell you all thank you. Thank you for allowing our schools to be equipped with security guards, and at some schools, perhaps an armed police officer, in which the school district and the city of Newburgh have collaborated together for the safety of our students, our staff, our parents, and all visitors. So I just want to say thank you. My heart is overwhelmed with the gratitude for your services. I can't imagine living today without any security guards or police officers. Unfortunately, these things are happening in the times that we live, and we definitely have to keep up what we have. And listening to the presentations of the collaboration that the city of Newburgh is doing with the school district, I'm overwhelmed, and I hope that that relationship continues to build positively. The city of Newburgh, as you all know, that the crime is down 15%. That's huge. We haven't had a murder, thank God, so far, and we're thanking God for that. But I came here as a council member to tell you all thank you, and God bless you.
Ms. Jill Jabour.
Good evening. I'm a parent of 2 students that go to Newburgh Large City School District. And unfortunately, Councilwoman, I don't agree with anything you just said. And the reason being is my son was assaulted multiple times last year at South Middle School. It was brought to the principal, it was brought to the vice principal, and nothing happened. They had a protocol to follow in which the kid gets spoken to and the parents get called. The second time it happens, the child will be written up. The third time it happens, he might get suspended. I think that's personally a joke. But then I had to take it to Mr. Padilla because nothing was happening. And the next thing I know, I get a phone call from the school counselor telling me he met with my son. And I said to him, you are aware that my son has ADHD, he's dyslexic, and he has Asperger's. And the counselor said to me, no, I wasn't aware of that. You should have him tested and get an IEP. I said, really? I said, he has an IEP in place. Didn't you bother to read his folder, his file? No, didn't bother to do anything. Personally, I don't feel the schools are safe. I asked you earlier this evening, why haven't any letters been sent home? Some parents are getting some. Meadow Hill gets one, and it's directed at the Meadow Hill school family. NFA got one. South hasn't gotten one. New Windsor Elementary got nothing. We weren't notified of the potential incident that was going on at NFA. A lot of parents I'm friends with that have kids at NFA, they weren't notified of anything. I personally asked my own 2 children, what are they teaching you at school? And they saw what happened in Florida. But what are you being taught? We're being taught to hide in the corner and sit down and be quiet and make sure our cell phones are off, Mom. I said, really? That's what they're teaching you? I reached out to the principals and they said, oh no, we're following the protocols. I emailed Mr. Padilla to find out what's going on. We haven't received anything. What are the protocols in place? And to this date, I've received nothing. So I don't understand why things are not being addressed to the Newburgh Enlarged City School District families, and they're only being addressed to certain school families. The current system you have in place right now doesn't work. Our children are not safe. Anybody can walk into these schools. There are side doors. This child who was suspended and there's a hearing going on for them tomorrow, okay. It's not going to stop the kid from showing up. He can show up at any point in time. So again, what's being done? As I think every parent here has that same concern as I do. Telling our kids to hide in the corner and be quiet is not enough. So I want answers. I want to know, are my kids safe? Should I be homeschooling them at this point in time? That's all I have to say.
Ms. Hope S. Green.
Good evening. My name is Hope Green. I am the mother of 2 students who attend Newburgh Free Academy main campus. The reason I am here tonight is because it was brought to my attention on Friday that there was a student at NFA Maine who posted a YouTube video. In that YouTube video, the student made some type of reference to, I guess it's true what they say about me, that I could potentially be a school shooter. I know people who have children who've actually seen that video. My question is, rather it have merit or does not have merit, rather it was a kid making a statement that should not have been made, pandemonium set in over the weekend amongst parents. That pandemonium set in because Newburgh Enlarged School District did not take immediate action to contact parents in an emergency meeting Friday or today to say, we are aware of the situation, this is what happened, this is what didn't happen, here's what we've done, here's what we're going to do, and then people wouldn't be passing off false information. You have kids that are saying they're not coming to school tomorrow because it's been said that the student is returning on Wednesday. But then you have people that say, well, that's not the case. There's a hearing tomorrow. Once again, rather it has merit or doesn't have merit, rather it's been investigated or not been investigated, it was your responsibility to notify all parents in the district that there was an issue, that it was addressed, and how it was addressed. I questioned whether it was investigated by local police or federal police. I was told by the secretary of the superintendent's office that it was investigated by local police. That's not enough for me. That's not enough for the students that attend the school. They're all of our children. We are very passionate about this because these are the times they're living in. You have kids who are free to go to school and their parents have no information to provide to them to tell them it's okay for you to go to school Wednesday, next week, next month, up until June. You are safe. You have failed us.
Ms. Kathleen Rafferty.
Good evening. My name is Kathleen Rafferty. I am a mom of 3 kids of my own in the district, 2 of which are at NFA Maine. I'm also an employee in the district, so I have conflicting concerns because what I know as a parent and what I see in the schools that I've worked in don't gel. I have a lot of concerns about the said video that was posted. When was it posted? When was it made aware to the authorities? What has been done about it? What actions have been taken place with the school district and or the authorities? What legal charges were filed, if any? What were the consequences for this child? I agree with a lot of what was just said. A lot of what we heard was hearsay. I want to know what the facts are. I have 2 kids that also do not want to go to school tomorrow. I also have concerns if there is nothing viable as far as this child is concerned. I hear things that are said every single day that students shouldn't say. I write them up. I continue to write them up because that's my job. I'm not doing it to get them in trouble. I feel like they should be held accountable. Nothing is done. Nothing as far as what I think should be done because of the intensity of what they said. I recently observed a child say to another child in my classroom, "Go kill yourself." I asked them not to say it. Please don't say that. That's not something you should joke about. She said it again. I called security to have them removed. As she was being escorted out of the room, she said it again. Now, I'm not privy to the information, what's done to a student, but I also know there was a situation last year at the end of school that doesn't have anything to do with this, but again, I'm an adult in the building that's asked to be an extra pair of eyes. When I'm not in the classroom, I go around and I help the principals, the assistant principals, the teachers, the students. There was a situation where kids were involved with alcohol. I reported it. Nothing was done. We have to hold these kids accountable, whether it's something that they say, just kidding around. My own kids say things that make me cringe. I know that kids say things, but we need to hold them accountable so that there is more value in life instead of discounting humans. And again, being in a K-8 building, I know that the high school does have metal detectors. A big concern that I have working in the school that I'm in, we don't have metal detectors. I know that we have made progress. I have seen many changes as a parent. I hope to continue to see many changes as an employee in the district. I've been working for the district for 4 years and finally, after today's meeting, was allowed to fill out an ID application. So there are concerns that I'm sure all the schools have. Extra security I know is costly, as well as metal detectors. There are certain things that can be done. Our principal, the advice our principal gave us was, I'll address any concerns that you have, please just email me, because he didn't know what the answers were. Can we still allow teachers to come in the side doors in the morning with people that are guarding the doors, which is staff, but they're not security? He said as far as he knew until he heard otherwise, which I think is the answer that he said. As a substitute, I do leave sometimes. I do try to go in the front of the building. That is a concern. I feel bad when you're kind of basically looking at the person looking at you, wanting to get in the building, but you have to keep your kids and your teachers and everybody that's in the building safe. You have to allow extra time if you're going to leave. But those are some of my concerns. Thank you.
Ms. Hazel Guinness.
Good evening, Dr. Padilla and school board. My name is Hazel Nieves. My son Andrew Nieves attends NFA Maine. He's a freshman there. I know a lot of us are here to discuss school safety after what occurred in Parkland, Florida. But I need to go back a bit. Personal experience in school regarding school safety and an incident that occurred to my son personally regarding a teacher and corporal punishment that was inflicted upon him. I wrote a letter to Dr. Padilla a year ago. I wrote a letter to the entire school board. I met with Mr. McLemore. I had several phone call conversations with him, and I did not get a call from anyone other than just the discussions I had with Mr. McLemore, and the outcome was nothing. Nothing happened to this teacher who in math class had my son do push-ups because he asked a question. I was furious and very disappointed in the school district and how they handled that matter and what was done to my son by this teacher. Regardless, we went on, we finished the school year, and I felt that my son was not safe in that classroom for the remainder of the school year from January through June. Well, we made it through. Now this occurred, and like we all said, I'm not going to repeat, all the group, Dr. Lee, I saw your, I guess in the paper, there was an article, the Herald paper, regarding what occurred on Facebook. We got a text message from Mr. Schuss, kind of implying that a lot of these are rumors. I saw for myself the video that has been taken down, that was put up by this young man. Seeking answers to my questions, I myself went to the police authority. I went into the precinct to find out what was going on. And I was assured that it was being handled by the authorities, that they went to the home, and there was no evidence that he would potentially do any harm. Regardless, based on what he said, there is an implication that this child, okay, has a problem. So I understand that eventually he will come back. The reason I wanted to come here tonight is because I feel that as parents, we want some transparency. I've read the school safety plan that's on the school district from cover to cover. It outlines what will happen in kidnapping, what will happen, different scenarios. But it really doesn't explain. I don't know as a parent that, for example, if a child comes in now and makes a threat, how is it really going to be handled? Is it just that he's suspended? Do we just take it at face value? Well, there was no evidence. How do we know still that this child is emotionally sound, mentally sound? Are you going to mandate a psychological evaluation just to make sure? I mean, I understand, I'm not asking for guarantees because no one is able to give me, I mean, we can't. I'm being realistic. But I think that we really have to put all the measures to make sure that when this student returns to school, that other students and staff are safe. And that is why I came here tonight, because I am asking for transparency. I don't want to not receive an email from Dr. Padilla. I want some answers, and I waited for a year, and I let it go, but I think this is very important, and I'm not willing to just let it go. I hope at some point the school board can explain to parents what are the steps that are taken. I mean, we see the obvious. I see the Newburgh police officers sitting outside the school building. I understand the metal detectors, but to me, it just doesn't feel like I really know what's going on. And sometimes these letters, they don't make it home. I've called the school several times. I've heard about the robocalls. I'm not getting them.
I spoke with the guidance counselor, I spoke with the main office. I gave them my phone number.
Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't received anything. Thank you.
I have one more person that's signed up, Selita White.
Hi there. I'm not so great at public speaking, so I'm going to try my best. My name is Selita White, and my daughter goes to NFA, Maine. What I want to know is, what are we going to do tomorrow? My daughter doesn't want to go to school tomorrow. A lot of her friends don't want to go to school tomorrow because of this rumor that's been going on Facebook about this young man, which actually wasn't a rumor because I did see the clip, and he did mention coming to school and shooting because he's a great aim. That could be anyone, maybe not just this young man, it can be anyone. But in the meantime, I'm sitting here not knowing what to do because nothing's been said. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't have that many friends coming in and out of my house, so thank God for the couple that do email me and text me to tell me what was happening because I would have not known. No one's called me. I've heard other people have gotten phone calls. I've heard other people have gotten notes sent home, but nothing's been said. Nothing's been mentioned, but everyone knows what's been happening. But why are we keeping it a secret? This is our children's lives. Why is it being hush-hush? But we're going to talk about the cans, and we're going to talk about how the pretty emblems look for our NFA. But what about our children's safety? If our kids don't go to school tomorrow, what's going to happen? Money's going to get lost because a lot of kids don't plan on showing up. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, so my kids are going to go to school tomorrow. But a lot of children don't. They don't deserve this fear. They don't deserve to be worried about going to school and getting threatened by anyone. And I understand that this is not under our control, but we can try to protect them as best as we can. Mr. Padilla, years ago I'd come and I had a say about the security, and thank you for giving us the security that we had, especially with Town, because we were able to go in and out of the school with no problem. So I hope that you listen to me again tonight, and please make everyone aware of what's happening. Let us all know what's going on, that maybe there is a threat. I know that there's no threat tomorrow, but there's a lot of children that are fearing going to school tomorrow. There are a lot of parents that are fearing their children going to school. And it's just a shame. And I pray and I hope that you all get together and please make us all aware as a community of what's happening with our children and the safety of our schools. Please make it a priority, not this other stuff. Thank you.
Is there anybody else that didn't sign up that would like to speak on non-agenda items? Then we're going to be, right now I'm going to be, start with agenda items. So we have our next half hour if people would like to address the board on agenda items. And I have nobody signed up to talk about agenda items. Would anybody like to speak to the board on agenda items? Okay, if not, we're going to move on to board committee reports. We have Audit and Finance Committee, Mr. Menuda.
I'm sorry to interrupt, so we won't get any answers tonight? I just want to be
I'm
clear.
sorry, it's not a question and answer period.
I mean, I just want to know, is there an answer being said tonight or no?
I don't think so unless Dr. Padilla, you stop and talk to Dr. Padilla
Is there
afterwards.
going to be any answers to anything that's been asked tonight?
All right, not right now, at the end of the meeting.
Okay.
Perhaps Dr. Padilla will stop and talk with you guys. Okay, so I'm going to continue. I'm sorry, Mr. Menuda, go ahead.
Thank you, President Nato. So we held the, on Valentine's Day, February 14th, we had the meeting. We had a resolution to authorize property tax refund pursuant to a court order. Obviously, there's quite a few items on that. We're aware of it, and so that had to be moved forward to this meeting. We have a resolution, and I'm not sure that, well, we discussed this, which was an authorization for the board president to execute a proposal from Clark Patterson Lee to extend the pre-referendum services. There's been some discussion about that, and I think we're going to be discussing that a little further. I don't believe we'll be voting on that item tonight. One-on-one Chromebook initiative for grades 3 through 10 with a tax cap calculation, 2018-2019 pilots. We discussed the active learning spaces and a draft table of contents for the 2018-2019 budget book. And we then adjourn the meeting.
Thank you. We're going to move on to the Personnel Committee and Buildings and Grounds. Ms. Prokop.
Yes, we have, we met last week, we have a number of resolutions that's going to be on the docket tonight. Sorry. Already. Surprised you couldn't hear. We have a number of resolutions that's going to be on the docket tonight. Among them are the 21st century appointments, personnel appointments, Empire State After School Project, Latino Family Literacy Project, Meadow Hill Extended Day Project, and NFA Review and Recovery. These are additional teachers that are going to be hired. Also, we talked about the creation of a modified lacrosse coaching position. In the Buildings and Grounds meeting, we discussed the facility use requests, the flu season control procedures that were put in place, the fact that the state police are doing a forum at NFA Maine and North and hopefully West on the social media. We also discussed the secret process for Washington Street and the Newburgh Free Library farm alarm replacement.
Thank you. I have no items at this meeting, and we're going to move on to the Deputy Superintendent, Mr. Forgy.
Thank you, Madam President. This evening I have one item, recommendations from the CSE and CPSC committees.
I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
Questions or discussion? Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Howard? Yes. Mr. Johnson? Yes. Ms. Mateo?
Yes.
Mr. Menuda?
Yes.
Ms. Prokop?
Yes.
Mr. Stoudemire?
Yes.
Ms. Ambito?
Yes.
Thank you, Madam President. That concludes my item.
Thank you, Mr. Forget. Our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction has no items today. We're going to move on to our Assistant Superintendent for Finance, Mr. Kern.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Madam President. Good evening. Tonight from Finance, we'd like to present a consent agenda, items 8.1 through 8.11.
Would any member like to separate out any of these items? I'd like to entertain a motion, please. Questions or discussion? Yes, sir.
A question on item 8.9, the district-wide smart bond. Does this address the Wi-Fi issues at the schools? Yes, it does. Are there any schools right now that are 100% complete with Wi-Fi upgrades?
I'd have to check with the contractor on that. We've had updates along the way. I don't know if anybody is 100% complete on the project. We do have a follow-up call next week with the contractor.
Can I ask Ms. Rabinovitz? Please? Thank you.
My voice, I have laryngitis. I'm so sorry. The question was about wireless. So wireless is updated in the schools. The slowness is the internet, which will be completed by March 15th. Light Tower is redesigning the network. Light Tower is redesigning the network, and it will be completed March 15th.
Does that answer your question, Mr. Stern?
Yeah, when we did the walkthroughs, 3 weeks ago, we noticed that in the schools they had problems getting onto the, I guess it was the Wi-Fi, because they were doing testing already, and they couldn't get on, and that was during the month of February when they had to do their testing. So what's going to happen in the smart bonds, it was Fostertown, Balmville, and was it Gardnertown? They were all having issues with the Wi-Fi. So is it the internet, or is it the Wi-Fi, or is it both?
Go ahead.
It was a combination of both, but the Wi-Fi has been completed, but the internet, which affects the Wi-Fi, will be completed March 15th.
The Wi-Fi hotspots were actually off.
That's correct, because it was in process.
Okay.
But now as we sit here, it is fixed.
Thank you.
They were, once the smartphone was approved, there was a couple of months of doing all the work, so all the work was being done. It's been completed now with just the internet. That's increasing the speed, and that's beyond our control. It's outside the district, but it's completed March 15th.
Thank you.
And pardon my voice.
Any, go ahead, Mr. Menuda.
It may be redundant, but I just want to confirm, so all of our backbone infrastructure for this, we're going to have, the routers are going to be capable of all of the addresses that they're going to need to put out for all of these Wi-Fi pieces of equipment, et cetera?
Yes, that's
Thank
correct.
you. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Johnston?
Yes.
Ms. Mineo?
Yes?
Mr. Menuda?
Yes.
Ms. Prokop?
Yes.
Mr. Stridiron?
Yes.
Ms. Zambito?
Yes.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Thank you, Madam President. That concludes the items from finance for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Kern. We're moving on to our Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources, Mr. McLemore.
Thank you, Madam President. At this time, I'd like to request permission to amend the agenda, consent agenda for HR.
Okay. Can I ask the item number that you would like to amend?
Yes, it's to table item 9.7.
Point of order, the 9.9 or 9.7, we can have to pull out. That's what you want, 9.7?
You want to pull 9.7?
Yes.
So, okay. So first, would any member like to pull 9.7, please? Okay. So I need a second. Any questions or discussion on 9.7? Okay, can we have a,
Point of order,
go
so
ahead.
in order, if the motion's going to be on the table,
Yeah,
is that the motion on the table now?
and it's seconded.
So there has to be a discussion.
Oh, I asked for discussion.
And now there has to be a motion, if the plan is to table it, then there has to be another motion down to table. So before you can table a motion, it has to be on the floor.
Okay.
Now the motion's on the floor, now somebody has the motion to table that motion.
No, they don't want to. They want to table it.
Right, so the motion's now on the floor.
Oh, I'm
Now there
sorry.
has to be a motion to table.
Okay, so may I have a motion to table?
I'll make a motion to table
item
9.7.
Seconded. Thank you. Now, can you vote on that?
That's correct.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mrs. Clerk.
Ms. Mineo?
Yes.
Mr. Menuda?
Yes.
Ms. Prokop?
Yes.
Mr. Stridiron?
Yes.
Ms. Zambito?
Yes.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to start again. Would any member like to separate out any of these items? Yes, sir.
I'd like to separate out item 9.9.
9.9. That's a separate thing. Okay, so that's not under consent? Okay, so thank you. So let's look at, right now, items 9.1 through 9.8. Would anybody like to separate out any of those? No? May I have a motion, please? Questions or discussion on anything from 9.1 to 9.9 without 9.7, which we already removed? Okay. Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Menuda? Ms. Prokop?
Yes.
Mr. Stridiron?
Yes.
Ms. Zambito?
Yes.
Mr. Howard? Mr. Johnson? Ms. Mineo?
Yes.
Item 9. Sorry. Item 9.9 is a resolution to approve conference request.
Okay. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Questions or discussion? Yes, sir.
What specific hard-to-find teaching positions are you looking for in going to Puerto Rico to fill?
Specifically bilingual positions. So there's two, let's see, there's two at the elementary level, there's two at the middle level. Let me make sure I give you the right information here, because I put this in the board weekly. There's two at Gardner Town, two at South Middle. one at NFA North and one at Temple Hill.
So you're looking to fill 6 total positions.
Yes.
What specific actions have you taken since September to fill these positions, other than using OLAS?
So we posted on Twitter, Facebook, Handshake. That's where we have a list of colleges, Black and Hispanic colleges, 30 plus that we've sent postings to, that they post in the institution itself, to see if we have anyone that would, that would fit our posting. NIASCLA is a personnel website where we reach out to various districts across New York State to find out if they have any people that are available for who we're looking for. So those are some of the things that we've done. We've even done virtual interviews with Teachers College. So, and we have a list of colleges that we are going to be attending. February 15th, Teachers College. Well, we've done that already. February 20th, we've done that already. That was at Orange Works Job Fair. March 9th, William Patterson, New Jersey. March 21st, Manhattanville College. Same day, we're splitting ourselves. SUNY New Paltz, April 16th to 17th. Central New York. Central New York is where there's a number of colleges that get together from Utica, Syracuse, Rochester. They all converge in Central New York to do a college fair. April 24th, Russell Sage College. April 28th, there's a TESOL mini college conference where we have had asked to share information to see who might be available at the conference, because we don't mind stealing from other districts as long as they're good.
Any other questions or comments? Go ahead.
As a follow-up to that, there are the top 20 bilingual and multilingual colleges. There's a list that's put out every year. 7 of them are within the tri-state area. Have you gone to any of those or reached out to those colleges? Because they specifically have programs for bilingual and multilingual educators. Have you reached out to them to try to get some teaching candidates?
Yes, we have.
When did that occur?
Ms. Felice, go ahead.
Thank you. So we had taken those steps throughout the beginning of the school year. This information was provided in a recent report to the board, provided through the BOE Weekly. Amongst other things that we've done are sharing at department meetings internally, because we might be able to surface some candidates in-house. We've researched with the Board of Regents, and they're the ones who approve the option for an emergency license for displaced teachers from Puerto Rican and the U.S. Virgin Islands after Hurricane Maria. We've contacted NYSED's Office of Bilingual Education and World Languages, asking them for assistance with finding candidates. We've also contacted the universities, particularly LIU and New Paltz, Mount St. Mary, to see what additional candidates they could surface for us. We've researched the New York State Teacher Supplementary Certificate Bank to identify candidates. We've also researched in-house current employees who are bilingual certified but not currently in a bilingual assignment, to see how we could figure out any kind of transfer if they're amenable to this.
So I'm sorry.
Mr. Antoine?
So additionally, we've spoken with the Commissioner of Education personally at the last personnel meeting, because there is a problem not only in Newburgh, but there's a problem across the state. And so what she has done was develop some guidance because of the hurricane in Puerto Rico, she has developed some guidance whereby it would make it easier for us to now secure teachers by interviewing them or recruiting them from Puerto Rico. So she's laxed the requirements to a degree. And there's a list of things requirements that she has put in the guidance memo for those districts that are going to Puerto Rico to recruit. One being Houston, Dallas, Buffalo. Buffalo has sent a proposal to their superintendent based upon the proposal of Dallas and Houston. And so Buffalo has gone once already. They've interviewed 70 people for 10 positions, 3 days, 8 to 6. The first day is that they would spend some time traveling to the various colleges, recruiting, advertising, seeing the rigor and seeing how what's being taught at the colleges. And then after that day, there's 3 consecutive days of just interviewing from 8 to 6. And out of the 70 people that they've interviewed, they only got 10.
I'm going to cut you off, Mr. McElroy. Mr. Fortune?
No, I wanted to make sure we discussed Buffalo's already in this week.
Okay.
Just as a curiosity, when a teacher or when an educator graduates from a program at college, are they New York State certified as soon as they graduate, or is there a process they have to go through?
I think that's what Commissioner Elia was talking about, having that facilitated so that people with a certification in Puerto Rico could then be certified in New York.
How long will it take to get certified in New York from someone from Puerto Rico?
Mr. McElroy?
I'm not sure of the length of time, but it's laid out in the guidance memo, which I didn't bring tonight.
And to go to Puerto Rico with 3 administrators for 6 days for 6 positions, is that, in your consideration, prudent?
Well, if we're going to think outside the box, we posted a number of times. We posted a number of times in order to fill these positions. And so thinking out of the box would be doing something of this nature, to recruit elsewhere, especially when the commissioner has laxed the guidelines in order for us to secure someone from the Commonwealth, Puerto Rico.
Mr. Moody, you had something?
I do, thank you. I was originally baffled by this item, and I want to thank you very much for all of the detailed information in what you've done to try to recruit. I can't believe there's such a difficulty in the state that we live in, with all the multicultural that we have, that we're having difficulty finding 6 people. To that extent, if we're thinking outside the box, have you tried headhunters for this position?
No, we're the headhunters.
Mr. I have a question, Mr. McElroy. The 3 people that were sent in, are any of them capable of assessing the quality in Spanish of the speaking, reading, and writing of the candidates that you will be observing in Puerto Rico at a college level? Because we want to make sure that the teachers that we're getting are of high caliber and high quality. So the 3 people that I see that are going,
Yes.
help me.
Yes, Madam President. So, Dr. Roman speaks Spanish, writes Spanish, reads Spanish, and I believe that he has the qualifications to determine that as well. Now, I can speak Spanish, but it's not the right words.
I remember you speaking Spanish, Mr. McElroy. Sorry. Sorry. Any other questions or comments? Yes, sir.
When was the last time the district actually held a job fair for teachers?
I'm sorry, can you say that?
When was the last time our district held a job fair for teachers?
That was a number of years ago, so we were talking about holding a job fair this year as well. So that was on our agenda to do.
Are there any other questions or comments? Yes, Mr. Johnston.
I guess I need just a little reminder about how postings work. If we have 6 vacancies, I would expect them to be posted on the district webpage as positions we're seeking applicants for. I'd also expect them to show up in OLAS if you do a search for the Newburgh School District. So I understand that there is some kind of process by which jobs are posted for a period of time and then they don't appear on the webpage. But if we're going to this length to find applicants, I would expect the positions to be listed. Is there a reason that they're not?
Mr. Johnson, I'm not sure what you're referring to, or when jobs are posted on OLAS, they are only on there a certain amount of time, then taken down. So you brought out a point several months ago regarding the posting, the job being posted, but not being placed on the website. So the timing of it. So we corrected that. So I'm not sure what you're referring to now.
I mean, what I'm referring to is if you go to the district webpage, it doesn't seem like these jobs are listed as available for applicants. And the same with OLAS. So if we have jobs that we're looking for applicants, it should be easy for people to find that out by looking at our webpage. Is it expected that the jobs aren't listed on the webpage at this time?
No, when we post for a determined amount of time, then the postings come down. Then what we do is we repost again. We just keep reposting for positions that, we don't post for 50 days. We've never posted that long. We had conversations with the superintendent about that. And so that's something that we're looking forward to doing. Because of these hard to fill positions, posting 10 days, taking them down, and then reposting again. So we're in discussion about that.
Mr. Forger.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. We'll take into consideration the extended post until we secure the right number of candidates to fill vacancies. I think that's what I hear Mr. Johnson requesting our consideration for. So if there is a vacant position until we fill that position, is it possible for us to keep it posted on OLAS until we fill those vacated positions? Whether it takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, you never know who's going to jump on a website and see at a specific time. So I think it's something we should consider, and we'll talk to Dr. Pretty about it as we wrap up tomorrow morning.
Mr. Stern.
I have a question, a legal question. If we have a job fair in Puerto Rico for these 6 positions and they're not posted on our website or on OLAS, is that some kind of a equal opportunity where we're not giving everyone the opportunity as an opening? Shouldn't it be posted at the same time we're looking?
It doesn't mean it won't be.
And it seems like we're shooting ourselves in the foot if we have something we can't fill. We've gone through every crevice in the whole state of New York. It should be on the website 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Instead of going to Puerto Rico for $9,000 and sending 3 highly paid administrators, which if you think that's the prudent thing to do, that's fine. But to me, it seems like we're not taking all of the opportunities out there to fill these positions. I mean, City College has an educational program. Did we contact them? I mean, I'd like to, I'll provide the list of the ones that are in the top 20, and if every single one of them was contacted, I'll be very happy.
I have a question. How come you decided on 3 people going? What was the thought behind that?
Thanks for that question. So we were following the same proposal as Houston, Dallas, and also Buffalo. So that's, that's what we were doing. We were trying to cover a lot of ground, with going to the various colleges. And so I think it's important to have more than one go. Definitely important for, that.
Mr. Fortune?
Yeah, I just want to go back to a conversation that was engaging with Mr. Stridiron. So we will have that posted. We will ensure that it's posted so that if someone in Puerto Rico wants to apply and be interviewed, somebody in Newburgh wants to apply, somebody in Albany wants to apply, they all have that same opportunity.